now become conservative. They want to drop back there, even if Montreal sends blitz, and try and beat them down the field.
12-7 Alouettes. Jones throwing out of the backfield. Reginbald trying to plow his way to a first down. Looks like he'll get about 7.
Well, Tommy Jones gets his first completion after his first series, and initiation to Canadian football was a tough one for him. Here's his first play from scrimmage in the CFL. Dwayne Butler says, welcome. I'd like to welcome you to our game. Here it is. Whack right under the chin. And then he steps in there on the next play and throws a nice little completion.
2nd and 3.
Comes.
Jones going deep and wide open is Connell. He'll take it to the end zone for the score. Touchdown, Calgary.
Attack him like you own him.
Wide open. There was no one around Connell. Tommy Jones, first touchdown pass. He's 2 for 2 now, except for the interception.
Well, and talk about rookie quarterback that's pretty excited right about now. And what a confidence lift this could be for Tommy Jones. He ran all the way down the field to celebrate with Albert Connell after that catch.
They're going to start having playing some Tom Jones music around here. Tommy with the gun, 14-12.
CFL Fantasy Football. Register.
One of the lead dogs, wide open, all the way to the end zone.
Well, and he had to make a tough catch. Even though he was wide open, he had to spin around and come up with what became a very difficult catch with nobody around him. Nice call offensively. John Jenkins to call semi-rollout to the right to get away from pressure for Tommy Jones.
Tommy Jones gets rocked in his first pass attempt, intercepted, and then comes back with 2 completions and 1 for a touchdown.
DJ Johnson's coming off the edge free, but watch the call from John Jenkins to get Tommy Jones outside and buy him a little more time. Slight roll. Now watch Connell. He has to spin all the way around wide open to come up with what became a very difficult catch for Albert Connell. Here's why Albert Connell is open. He's going to go straight down the field. I'll show you why he opens up. Connell's going to go straight down. 2 players, Kelly Malville, hold it right about here, guys. Malville here, and right out here, the newcomer, Mondo Curry. They want to switch. If those receivers cross, they're going to switch. Both jump the short one. Connell is wide open in between.
McGarity was also wide open. Calvillo, and it went off. The Calgary Stampeders.
Wes Lysak got caught a little bit shallow, but he hustled to get back in position and bounce right off his back.
Kwame Cavill, again, the intended target. So the Alouettes now trailing 14-12. First offensive score for the Stampeders. And what a score it was by Connell from Jones. And there was a jump on the line. John Grace, it looked like. Was he forced offside, though?
Well, you know, when the guy gets that wide open, Albert Connell, the way he was on the play, the quarterback almost starts to aim it. Now you have a rookie quarterback in Tommy Jones. Let's take one more look. You're just going to let this run and take one more look from the outside. Albert Connell, 83. Now at this point, Tommy Jones is saying, oh my goodness, he is wide open. Look how Connell has to turn his body around, stay in control, and make a tough over-the-shoulder catch wide open.
Mike Juhas actually was the other receiver there, wide open as well. 2 wide open stamps. Connell takes it for a touchdown. Cahoon cutting inside. And a first down, Montreal.
Again, Calvillo's on target, this time to Ben Cahoon, number 86.
Ben Cahoon.
Taken down by Scott Coe, number 56.
Oh yeah, and if you're just joining us, Ben Cahoon does not have his running mate beside him in this game. He left early, Jermaine Copeland. A bit of a hamstring problem, so And then leaning on Cahoon, a little Thyron Anderson, and we've seen more of Kwame Cavill in this one.
First and 10 from the 50. Hand inside, and now going outside is Denson. Audrey Denson, the career rushing leader from the University of Notre Dame.
He gains 2.
At the end of that play, Brian Clark got up limping. Clark is right here. He is going to fly over and get in pursuit, number 48. And he flies over there in a hurry, takes on that block there. Now look at the speed for Clark. He's got to get over there and stop the cutback lane. Milo Lewis makes the tackle. Right after that, Clark tried right there to get back on the field, started limping and went right down.
Clark hurt. We'll take a break. The Stampeders ahead by 2, 9 minutes left in the third. Well, checking in with our Purolator sack leaders, Antoine Young has a sack in this game. For every sack in this game, Purolator will donate the quarterback's weight in food to a local food bank. Purolator, Canada's biggest courier company. Over 90 tons of food donated to local food banks across Canada last year. Anthony Calvillo, Brian Clark on the sidelines. He's hurt. This one overthrown and caught and picked off. Milo Lewis. And once again, there wasn't an Alouette in sight, but Milo Lewis is going to get a penalty for excessive celebrating, it looks like.
Well, yeah, we'll see what the penalty flag, but Milo Lewis wouldn't quit on the play. He wanted to finish it. This ball is overthrown from Anthony Calvillo. He's trying to throw as he rolls to his left. It's a difficult throw to make, but Milo Lewis is not content for the incompletion. He wants more, comes over the shoulder, makes a nice catch for the interception.
Taking his helmet off. You can't take the helmet off. And he did. Off outside the field of play, but you can't do that after a play like that. So
well, and you know, it's a new penalty this year, and players are still trying to adapt to it because throughout their college careers and pro careers, they've always done it. You know, after play, take off your helmet, or even to just take off your helmet and to have a drink. And some players have been caught this year.
Well, the fans in that section like seeing Milo up close and personal. Stampeder fans, that is. 8.5 to go. Jones back to work. Tommy Jones replacing Marcus Crandall. Jones with some time, throwing over the middle, caught by Wayne McGarity, laying out. And that's his 5th of the afternoon. And Tommy Jones has looked very sharp coming into the ball game here.
Got some help in protection. Tommy Jones, see now how they're moving the pocket. Tommy Jones going this way, looking for McGarity to come over the middle, and a little bit of a sidearm release for Tommy Jones, and it forced McGarity into making a real tough catch, and what a great one it was.
Fingertip too. So McGarity moves the ball up to the 24-yard line. Jones bobbled it, got it away, and a good play by Tommy Jones there.
Yeah, very good decision. Very good decision. Don't take the loss. This is one of those plays. You just have to line up and do it again. It's Butler off one edge, full pressure coming, and it's like, let's see if we can make a Tommy Jones sandwich in the backside. There's Mark Megna off one side. Dwayne Butler, 25. He's the free guy from the opposite side.
So 2nd and 10 now for Jones. Stampeders leading 14-12, third quarter. Airs it out again. And over the head of his intended target, Celicio Sanford.
They had him open too. That was really the first throw from Tommy Jones that was just flat off.
Got belted again and looked like he came up limping. Here's what happened in the backfield. Rolled over.
Yeah, it looked like Tito Simpson. Bit of a leg whip to Tommy Jones. He was limping coming off the field, and Pat Clayton will take a look at him.
Crandall watching right now. Jones playing. The 3rd-string quarterback is Michael Souza, who Matt Dunnigan likes very much, by the way. A Bear with the wind, a big one. Wow. Watkins way back, almost the length of the football field. Watkins brings it up the middle. He's down at the 27. What a kick from the Louisiana booter. 81-yard punt from Charlie Hebert. Denson up the middle, met by 2 Stampeders, but another Montreal first down.
Well, here's the good news for the Calgary Stampeders. They've got Brian Clark back in the game. Remember, in the last defensive series, he limping off. He walked up and down the sideline and walked it off, and he's back out there leading this defense from the linebacking core.
First and 10. Benson's done a nice job so far. This time nowhere to go. Second effort though, and he picks up a couple of yards.
Well, how important is having Brian Clark brought back in the lineup? I mean, Clark is your heart and soul. He plays that middle spot right in there, and when they play with 4, of course, they have 2, Grace and Clark. But watch Clark at the point of attack. He's going to step up, and right there in perfect position.
There were a lot of eyebrows raised around here when Willie Fells and Otis Floyd were not re-signed by the Stampeders. So far, looks good for Dunnigan and the Stamps. Over the middle, guess who? Cahoon again.
Well, you know, there's 2 things. One, when Montreal have come up with some offense, they've had to work for it. That Calgary defense has been flying around, and their secondary, who have seen some changes itself, have been right in the hip pocket of these receivers. Cahoon comes in, makes another tough catch. Good coverage by Joey Bose, who moved from the safety position a year ago to the halfback. Doesn't often happen that way. It happens the opposite way sometimes.
Ben Cahoon's made a lot of those tight catches in coverage. There's Anderson. Brian Clark and John Grace. Tag team tackle.
Well, the first block is important at the point of attack because Nate Terry, really the corner, the only guy that can make a tackle on Thyron Anderson. He gets blocked outside. Brian Clark hustles over to save what could have been a bigger gain than that. Here's Clark. He's way away from the play that happens over at this side. Watch how far Clark will travel. Play action, he drops, and now he flies out there. Terry is outside, he misses, and now here comes Clark to bail out his teammate. Or that's a big, big gain from Thyron Anderson.
Well, Clark and John Grace combining on that tackle. First down for the Alouettes. Grace will have to go out, and that brings in rookie linebacker Joey Bonaventura from St. Mary's, a 2-time Vanier Cup champion. Even went to the Vanier Cup last year against Laval, and Bonaventura actually had a big play last week against Saskatchewan.
Right. Blocked a punt against the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, which was a big turning point in that football game. Started things going for the Calgary Stampeders. Turned out to handle Saskatchewan quite easily. 33-10 was the final, but this may be the key play of the game. Bonaventura with a big block, and Milo Lewis with the touchdown. He lays out. And when you ask the coaching staff about Joe Bonaventura, you know what they say? Pure football guy. Like this guy, if you look in the dictionary on a football player, this is the guy's picture. You see Joey Bonaventura.
Wearing number 34 this week, and again, part of Blake Nill's St. Mary's Huskies machine. 3rd-round draft pick by Edmonton, eventually making his way to Calgary. Inside 5 minutes here, 3rd quarter. Als trailing by 2. Denson goes right side and brought down by Milo Lewis.
He's had a good game. You know, Milo Lewis playing that halfback spot, and he's played well. He saw the interception, and he'll keep his helmet on this time. He's learned his lesson there. And he's made some plays down the corner of the end zone on some knockdowns, and this is tremendous close in the running game. DBs aren't often asked to be that up there that quickly in run support, because if you are, you may be compromising your coverage slightly. Milo Lewis does a nice job. He's had a good game.
Played in Winnipeg the last 2 years. Flag on the play. Calvillo to Cahoon, wide open. Brought down at the 7 as he beats Lewis, but a flag on the play on the near side of the field.
See what the flag is, but as soon as I talk about how good of a game Milo Lewis has had, he gets matched up one-on-one on Cahoon, but guess what? It's coming back. So it goes down under as a no play for Milo Lewis when they watch the film.
You know, Don Matthews talked about his team shooting themselves in their foot a little bit with a couple of penalty calls. There's another one, another big play coming back.
Hey, watch the ISO of Ben Cahoon here as he makes a great Ben Cahoon style move down the field. Bang, big step, sell the outside fake, and come back in on Milo Lewis one-on-one with no safety help. And it's all coming back because of penalty.
Offside call. Lewis lines up again. 2nd and 13. Crowd really into it here at McMahon. Calvillo tries to get out of the pressure, and wide open again is Cahoon for a first down. Ben Cahoon has taken over this game in the second half for the Alouettes receiving corps.
And he won't get a penalty for that because his helmet was knocked off him in the tackle. He didn't take it off. The reason Cahoon has time here, watch his pattern. He's going to come in, wait, and then slide back out. The reason this play is successful is because Anthony Calvillo buys himself some time in the pocket. If Calvillo doesn't buy that time, that play takes too long to develop and there's no play involved.
6 catches for Cahoon so far, including a touchdown. Calvillo sideline. And they're saying it was caught by Anderson. It looked like it might be out of bounds. The officials will talk. But Thyron Anderson has come up with a couple of circus grabs here.
Well, first of all, they're talking about a flag that was thrown on that sideline. I think Nate Terry may have grabbed Thyron Anderson as he made his double move. Thyron Anderson kind of made a little move to the sideline and then went right down towards the end zone.
Calgary 11. Penalties declined. First down.
That's exactly what it was.
So there's your illegal contact on Nate Terry. Thyron Anderson fought through the contact, and here's the end of the play right down in this corner. Thyron Anderson looks like he steps out of bounds with his left foot, and he is out of bounds.
He's way out of bounds
when he catches that ball.
Now again, the penalty on Terry, but the ball shouldn't be at the 1.
And I thought, I mean, you could see it looks like both his feet are out of bounds.
Bruno Appel is stopped, stonewalled there. Garrett Smith, and another penalty. And the penalty against Terry was still going to move the ball, but certainly not to the goal line.
Well, now we're a ways away, but let's take one more look, and there's his feet. Well, now I just drew over him, but watch, take a good look at it. Now the ball's in his hands right now. Boy, it looks to me like he catches that football out of bounds.
No end. Montreal. First down repeat.
Now, an illegal contact penalty would have moved the ball close to the goal line anyway, but not the 1-yard line.
So, illegal end on that penalty. First and goal. Calvillo over the middle, almost picked off by Brian Clark.
Oh, baby! Brian Clark had it.
He knows it.
Oh, man, he was in perfect position. Watch how crafty Brian Clark on this drop is. This is the veteran dropping right to the spot and playing the play. He goes right over, following Anthony Calvillo's eyes, and is right there with both hands on the football.
So 2nd and goal. Stampeders by 2. 2 minutes left in the 3rd. Calvillo to the sideline. And Joey Bossé was there to knock it away.
Joey Bossé is in perfect position in the trail. Now, you would think when you say to a defensive back, trail the receiver, that might be a bad thing. But watch Cahoon. He's going to run the quick out. Turn, and he expects the ball now. It's on time, but look at the trail position from Joey Bossé. Gets in behind Cahoon and is in perfect spot to cut underneath on that football.
Yeah, you get down in that zone, that, you know, the Stampeders know it's usually Cahoon time down there. So they were focusing on him. Bossé with a good job. And once again, Stampeders are going to catch a break here, giving up only 3. Here's Kellett from the 13. And the Owls move ahead by 1. 1:40 to go, and then the Alouettes have the wind in the final quarter.
Vector, official food energy of the CFL.